Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Chairwoman Jaffe, for your leadership. And thank you to everybody else on the call. So look, this is a very dangerous time. And one of the populations that we really have to look out for, who are the most vulnerable, are kids aging out of foster care. Let me take a step back to suggest that we're calling on the governor to take action today, but that's in the context of Andrew Cuomo doing an outstanding job over the last couple of months, leading us through this pandemic. And his leadership has given comfort to my constituents, my family, all New Yorkers. You got to give the gentleman credit. And we need his assistance now. And we're talking about these kids aging out of foster care, not only because they're vulnerable all the time, but particularly in this crisis, because when these young people age out, what you'd like to do is set them up with jobs, and you'd like to set them up with stable places to live. There are no jobs now. Everybody's on unemployment. And there are very few stable places for them to live. So my limited understanding from this, and I'll listen to the experts, is you now have kids who are counting down to their 21st birthday, and where it used to be an opportunity to become self-sufficient, now it's a countdown where they're saying, oh no, I'm going to lose services and I'm going to be out on the street. And what happens to some of those kids, even pre-COVID, my understanding is they're much more likely to wind up on public assistance or much more likely to become homeless. And I will tell you from my limited knowledge of the homeless system, putting anybody who doesn't need into a shelter now, a congregate care setting, is dangerous. Congregate care shelters, particularly in New York City, the death rate from COVID is 56% higher than the average New Yorker. It's more than twice as dangerous for anybody to go into shelter. So when we're normally trying to help these kids age out, and give them the stable housing and give them the jobs that they need, well, we can't do that now. So these are two quick asks of our governor. We need him to hear us. The first quick ask is yes, we need a moratorium on kids aging out to give us more time to weather this pandemic, so we make sure 180 days after the state reopens fully, that we allow these kids the opportunity to get access to stable housing and get access to jobs, which they just wouldn't have now. And also for kids who are out there and who are struggling, it is cheaper for them to come back into the foster care system and get the care than it would be if we left them out on the street. Now, I appreciate that the state is in dire financial straits. The governor is right. We have a $15 billion deficit, but there will be money coming soon in the next couple of weeks. We don't know how much, but we can bank there will be money coming. And if not, we should create revenue. But in either way you slice it, wherever you get the revenue from, the bottom line is putting this moratorium in place and then allowing kids who are 18 to 21 to come back into the system now will save you money and offset costs, because otherwise those kids are going to wind up on public assistance, in the shelter system, which is more expensive, and even worse, potentially in the hospital and sick. So on a human level and a financial level, the smart move is to do the moratorium and allow those kids to come back into care. I would not have known about this issue if it wasn't for CHAMPS and the Schuyler Center and Ellen and my friends here. So I thank you all for that. And I look forward to working with you to make this a reality. So thank you, everybody.